What's going on, YouTube? My name is Justin, and stick with me. In this video, we're going to go over 5 things that I've done in my life to better my personal development. Let's get into it. Number 1 on our list of things that I've changed within my life was cutting out the consumption of pop and alcohol. Now, I didn't cut out pop and alcohol entirely. I still enjoy these things on rare occasions, which is just a few times a year. They just aren't something as a part of my regular routine or diet. I just don't really want them anymore. When it comes to pop, that one was pretty easy to know exactly why I cut it out. And about 4 to 5 years ago, I was 50 pounds heavier than I am right now. I'm not a big person at all. I'm only 5'8", so when you add 50 pounds to my frame, you just really see it. It's not hard to avoid. And I just felt really physically ill. I just didn't feel good. Just walking up the stairs in my house, I would feel winded. You think I might be exaggerating, but I'm not. I was literally out of breath just walking up the stairs, and I was kind of sick and tired of it. And I decided to change, and the first change I thought about making, while I had tried it many times to no success, the first change when I realized I needed to make the change was to cut out the pop. Pop is filled with tons and tons of empty calories. It's just liquid sugar. And yeah, it was the easiest thing to be like, this is the reason I am this way. I was drinking so much of it. I was drinking 6 cans of Mountain Dew a day. I'm not even joking when I say 6 cans of Mountain Dew a day. That's not including the food I was eating, but the easiest thing to get out was the pop. Now, cutting out the alcohol might seem a little odd to some people on why cut out the alcohol. Well, the alcohol I cut out because what I remember is about 2.5 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago, every time I would drink, I would start developing hangover-like symptoms while I was still awake and drinking. And I didn't know what it was. I never got this formally diagnosed. I've had friends and family of mine who are doctors say it could be some sort of allergic reaction to something in that brand, or just some sort of alcohol intolerance developing, just something that it wasn't normal. I was developing hangover symptoms, not even in a sense being hungover. Because of these symptoms coming up while I was drinking, it kind of made me just not want to drink again. I drink on very rare occasions. It's only a couple times a year, and it's never like getting drunk party things. It's just, oh, here's a glass of wine, here's a glass of sangria, here's 1 beer. It's nothing crazy. And yeah, I honestly don't miss it at all. I don't miss the feeling of wasting my entire next day because I drank the night before. It just doesn't make sense to me. So that's why I cut out alcohol. Now let's run through the list of benefits to cutting out the pop and alcohol. Benefit number 1 is that losing weight becomes comically easy when you consume so much pop and you just cut those empty calories out of your diet. I'm not joking. As long as your diet is okay and you drink a ton of pop and you cut out that pop, you are going to shed weight. Benefit number 2 is I now drink close to 100 fluid ounces of water a day. Some days it's a little bit less, some days it's a little bit more, so I just went with 100. The thing that I've noticed the most from drinking way more water is my body feels better. It feels like I stretched without stretching. I feel loose. I feel able to just really do anything physically at any moment in time. It's one of the weirdest things that I've found from drinking so much water is my body just feels way better. Of course, there are times where like my back might hurt, my arm might hurt, something might hurt. But it's not like this magical cure-all thing that, oh, I stopped drinking pop, drank more water, and now I'm just cured of everything. No, but on a day-to-day basis, I feel physically and mentally a million times better. Benefit number 3 is that when I go out to eat, I'm not paying for drinks unless I get a cup of coffee. And a cup of coffee at most places is $1 to $2. And once you get multiple cups, because they're refillable, it's even less per cup. And water's free. So you're not spending a lot of money on drinks. It's just cheaper. The second most profound change that I've made in my life in terms of my personal development was developing a sleep schedule. I don't stick to it to a T. There are days where I'm up a little bit later, days that I get up a little bit later, but for the most part, I'm pretty solid 5 to 7, maybe even 6 to 7 days of the week. It's no surprise that teenagers typically stay in bed until noon and don't go to bed until 2 or 3 in the morning. When I was a teenager, I was playing Call of Duty with all of my friends on PlayStation and Xbox until 2 or 3 in the morning. I get it. But once I got into college, and now within like the last 1 or 2 years, I've really been on a good sleeping schedule where most nights I'm in my bed by 9 o'clock. And I like to wake up about 4:30 to 5:30. One of the biggest benefits I've found from sticking to a sleep schedule as best as I can is I've set my circadian rhythm to a fairly consistent point. I find myself getting tired at the same exact times during the day as well as the same exact times at night before I go to bed. I also find myself waking up most mornings, not all, like 15 to 20 minutes before my alarm even goes off. To me, that just says that I've got a pretty good sleep schedule, that my body just knows when to wake up. By having the sleep schedule, I've noticed that I don't really feel as drowsy when I wake up. It seems like the only real things that make a difference on if I am drowsy or not in the morning are how well I slept, like if things were keeping me awake at night, like if loud noises outside, or if I consumed coffee before bed, because I kind of drink coffee almost throughout the entire day. Not every day, but most of the time I'll be like, 7 o'clock, time to get a coffee. 8 o'clock, time to get a coffee. And I'm going to bed in like that next hour, hour and a half. Third thing that I've done with my life is about personal finance, and it's getting my personal finances in order. As the great Kanye West once said, having money is not everything. Not having it is. I take this quote to heart in my pursuit for building wealth through diligent personal finance because I refuse to let myself live a life where money is the root of my issues. Something so necessary for modern life, but not so necessary for a happy life. You can be happy without money, and you can be happy with money. I'd rather live a life where the money is not my issue. The first benefit of getting my finances in check is that I no longer feel like a slave to the creditors. I had thousands of dollars in credit card debt as a college student working in a kitchen. But through discipline, getting on a budget, and cutting my lifestyle down, I've been able to remove all debt from my life. I've been able to save thousands of dollars, actively invest thousands of dollars, and I no longer live the paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, even though I still work in that same kitchen and am still a college student. The second benefit is I'm finally able to spend money without guilt attached. I can spend money and know that I still have money in my bank account. An example of this, of not feeling guilty finally buying things for pleasure, is I'm going on a cruise next month that I've paid for and all of the expenses associated in cash, and I still have money in the bank. None of it's going on a credit card. That's the freedom of not living in debt. Number 2 and 3 are kind of tied in terms of benefits, but I will say that being able to have fun with your money is the single greatest benefit of having your finances in order. What good is money if you can't buy things with it? I'm not saying go out and buy a Lamborghini, go out buying Porsche, go out and buy a yacht. But being able to have fun on a daily basis by spending money is the biggest benefit of having money. Through this, you're able to cut down the amount of anxiety and stress that comes with the topic of money. Money is one of the biggest stressors in the lives of everybody, especially those who have to handle money but don't know how to handle money. The fourth thing that I've done in my life for personal development is starting to read more. When I was younger, I wasn't very good at reading, and I hated reading. I hated everything that had to do with it. I had long hair in middle school, and I used to literally cover my eyes during reading time and fall asleep because I did not want to read. I was horrible at it. But reading has become one of my biggest strengths by forcing myself to read, and now I just love reading. I'm willing to say that the single best benefit, single greatest, biggest, whatever, benefit to reading is obtaining knowledge. No matter how useless the knowledge is still power nonetheless. In reading, you literally gain this knowledge to apply to your life and make your life better. The things I've learned about personal finance and investing have come from books, and they've changed my life just like they can change yours. The fifth and probably the biggest change that I've made in my life when it comes to personal development is no longer caring what other people think of me. What you think of me right now as you watch this video does not change how I feel inside. I don't know what you're saying to yourself about me, and it doesn't change me. You don't know what the person on the subway is saying about you in their head, and guess what? It doesn't change you, nor should it. You shouldn't let it. The benefits to this is you can live your life how you want on your terms without the judgment of others because you don't care about the judgment of others. You can still take their constructive criticism and apply some of the things to your life, but when people just sit there and insult you, it almost says more about them than it does about you. So that is one of the biggest benefits you can make to your life. It's not the easiest thing, but it's one of the biggest things you can do for your life. Thank you so much for watching. Now, as always, please keep the discussion going on in the comments section. Add some things that you think other people can do with their lives to better their lives. These were 5 things that I thought made the biggest impact on my life. What are some things that made the biggest impact on your life? As always, as well, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. I'll be back next week with another video.